Hello, welcome everyone. Welcome to Rainbow Soul Live question and answer, free readings and all the such. We are glad you're here. Thanks for tuning in on Monday nights. Hi Chelsea. How you doing? Happy Monday. Hi Madeline. It's good to see you. And Paisley, cream cheese. All right. So I'm glad you're all here. Welcome. I'm so good. I'm so good. I'm so glad you're here. It's good to have you with us. And it's a beautiful lunar eclipse we're coming into tonight. If you haven't already gotten your surprise, whatever it was, it doesn't have to be a surprise, but it could be a closing, an ending to something. Hopefully, it's already happening. I know for us, it came this morning. We're like, oh, we're finally closing in our house in New York. Okay. All right. We don't know exactly what date yet still, but we're on the right track. Um, Everything is on the right track. Now we just have to wait for a minor detail and then maybe we'll get a date. In the meantime, which is exciting, right? And my son got his, he got offered a job that he thought was fallen through and now it's kind of come back, right? So what's happening with you? What's happening with um what's happening with like what chapter is ending for you? What's been going on for a while? Maybe it's been a little frustrating. Maybe it's been something you've had to let go of. Whatever it's been, I'm sure now you are excited and ready for things to come to an end. I know I am. Right, right. Like, whew, I'll be glad when this chapter ends. Hi, Lucas. Welcome. So it's a good idea to, if you want a reading, we need your birthday, time, and place. So you'll need to put that in the chart, in the chat. You can also send me your circle chart, or if I've already done a reading for you, you could say, Hollis, you have my chart. And I do, I have it. Okay. Sometimes I don't always recognize like people's screen names and stuff. So keep that in mind. Um, so, what's happening with your astrology? I know the lunar eclipse, there's a Mercury retrograde right now, but that Mercury retrograde is not terrible. It's not really like kick your butt type of Mercury retrograde. It's more of a what blessings can I offer you Mercury retrograde, and what could look like um, a, a, um, a pain, or something that's inconvenient or a delay or whatever could actually end up being excellent. Could actually be a blessing in disguise, right? Like Bright Hawk likes to say, delightfully surprised. um, Bright Hawk, I think you might be frozen. You might have to leave and come back. Um, there you go. Now you're not frozen. Okay. So, so, Mercury retrograde started last week and is going to be going until April 11th. Now, a lot of times, this is when things break. It's not really a good time to start new things. All of those things still apply. Things could still break, but like I said, it could end up being a blessing in the end. Things could not work out or whatever it is. Okay. So, what's happening for you? If you'd like a reading, you can put your birthday information in the chat, and um, we'll be happy to do a little reading for you. So Um, this is an astrology forecast, Lucas. So you have to have your birth date, including the year, hopefully the time, and your place. Uh, so, um,
Yeah, it helps if we know exactly when and where you were born. And then also, if you want us to understand what's going on for you now relative to the eclipse, where's your current location? So, those are very vital pieces of information. And we're happy to, do a little quick chart readings and answer any questions. Chelsea Hollis has my chart. Chelsea from Nebraska. That's makes it easy. Um, Lucas, if you could just put it all in one place. March 26th, 2014, Miami, Florida. But you didn't give me a time. Okay, so Lucas, if you can figure out the time and put it all in one little box, that would be great. In the meantime, I'll start working on Mahur. Okay, 20th of November, 1995.
the other
Okay.
thing I wanted to say is Mahor. You can ask any question you'd like. We will look at your astrology chart and help you with the current transit, give you an idea of what might be coming soon. It's not a full reading, it's just a little mini reading. Um, if you have a specific question, you can, of course, ask that question. And in fact, we prefer it that way. It's so much easier because then we know what to look at. And so if there's something specific you'd like to know, please let me know. Chelsea, I do have your chart. Um, and I was looking at it and I was like, ooh, Chelsea, how's it going with Saturn and Neptune on your North Node? I'm wondering how you're navigating that. Um, because I'm just saying that's pretty intense. You know, I felt I felt I felt Saturn and Neptune come in to 0 degrees. Aries, it was pretty intense. Aries rules my house of health, but for you, Chelsea, it actually rules your house of like friends and career. Also like people that influence you. So that could be like coworkers or um friends, coworkers, landlords, anything like that. I imagine that it would be kind of on the rougher side right now. It's probably going to start out that way. The nodes, usually when you're having some sort of transit to the node, it will kind of kick you around a little bit because it wants to get you back on track or something like that. Um, so, you know, you know, Bright Hawk, you're not doing a chart for Lucas, are you?
No, not yet. I'm
Don't do
doing
it.
the chart
Don't
for
don't do it.
Monhur.
Just don't do it. And so, so Chelsea, I'm not surprised to
Okay.
hear that it was rough because, Neptune is a visual. It tends to be your psychic abilities. It tends to make you have a vision. It can be spiritual. So I don't know if some spiritual stuff has been coming up for you, if you've started a new spiritual thing or been thinking about starting a new spiritual thing. Um and so, because sometimes we don't take action on it right away, okay? And then you also have Saturn now on it. And I don't particularly see those two planets as being particularly positive. I mean, they're not hard. I mean, well, Saturn can be at times. And it's going into your 12th house which could be like the unseen, hospitals, um, um, other unseen communities. Definitely hospitals, nursing homes. Okay. You can just call the other person that you're looking up. You could she said that you can call them Nor. Yeah. Um and the other thing is Chelsea, you got the chart. Okay, good. The other thing is Chelsea is that when I'm looking at this, the other thing that so this Mercury retrograde in particular is happening with your friends and people that influence you. I don't think it will be particularly hard though, except that the North, you're probably going to feel that Saturn and Neptune on Aries in your 12th house. It's going to affect your 12th house of unseen things, unseen communities, unseen, you may not even understand fully what's going on. You might feel agitated um, in a way that you don't get it. Definitely some things could be happening in relationships and things like that. Oh, okay. My husband broke his leg last month. I've been sick, but I'm finally turning a corner. Okay. Well, yeah. And Mars is in your sixth house, which is the ruling planet of Aries. So that might speak to other health issues and day to day life. Especially, yeah, I think you're emotional. So I would imagine that the North node in Aries usually has to do with standing up and being yourself and being independent and standing on your own. So, if you've been emotional, it's probably because there's some things buried underneath that you may not be paying attention to. So, might be something like sort of subconscious or self sabotage. Sometimes maybe you don't like stand up for yourself or you don't ask for the things that you need or want or um, somehow maybe you're repressing anger in relationships, particularly with relationships that are like day to day. So that's going to be like your husband, um, kids, that kind of thing. So uh, it's probably going to be more of a verbal thing than anything else. And it's definitely meant to empower you, this transit. So you are starting an empowering journey. It's a brand new journey. It's going to be going on for the next year and a half, 2 years. So I encourage you at least year and a half, 2 years. No, I guess it'll be going on for at least the next couple of years while Saturn is in the sign with your North Node. But it'll be more the most intense, which is like right now, which sounds like that's already happening for you, Chelsea. So yeah, I bet you've been super emotional, and I'm sure that you're emotional because there's something you're like sitting on. So that's the problem. So whatever it is that you're sitting on, whatever it is you're not paying attention to, there's something that you're oppressing. Some sort of probably some sort of like, like not speaking your truth or something like that. Okay? Go ahead, Bright Hawk.
Okay, well, I have a chart for Noor, and
Bright Hawk accidentally popped out, but she'll be right back. Um, it's okay. It happens. Um, there you go.
Okay, so I'm looking for the share screen thing. Uh, okay, where is this? I want to put their chart up. Can you walk me through how to get there?
So underneath of our images, there's a thing that says persons or invite.
Okay.
And then you click that. And
Okay.
choose.
Share screen. There it is. And window. No. Hmm.
So Melissa, I'm working on getting yours up. Bright Hawk will. She's just having a hard time sharing. You don't have to share it if you don't. If it's too hard.
There it is. It wasn't showing up, but now it is. Wasn't in the list. There we go. Nora, I hope it's okay that I have your birth chart up. So you probably know that you are a Scorpio sun, and your sun is conjunct Mercury as well as Pluto. Now, your Mercury is in Scorpio, so I'm willing to bet that you have a way of saying things that are very deep, and if and in the 11th house, that's the house of friends and people that influence us and that are all kinds of relationships. Um, and you've got a lot of energy going from there to on this Greenland line is in conjunct the south node. Plus, you have Neptune and Uranus conjunct squaring the nodes and squaring the moon. You have the moon in Libra, and you are a Capricorn rising with Mars on the ascendant in Sagittarius, which is very fiery. Like myself, you have a stellium in the 12th house, Jupiter, Venus conjunct at exactly 20 degrees. So that's quite a lot of passion in Sag, plus Mars. So I'm sure you can be a bit of a fiery person, and sometimes it might surprise you in the 12th house. Hopefully, it all goes well. The moon in Libra conjunct the North Node is you have a very strong tuition about things. The moon is very much our emotional world. And so, with the conjunction of the North Node, trust your intuition, listen to your heart. It was probably hard for you when you were young. And as you grow older and you grow into your maturity, listen to your heart, listen to your intuition. Believe yourself, don't gaslight yourself, especially with the 12th house stellium. It's important you don't sabotage yourself. You have some challenging aspects with those squares. Those are the red lines, but those are also opportunities for mastery and opportunities for working things. You have Saturn retrograde in the second house, the house of money. So sometimes that can lead to challenges is around you do have a bit of a temper. I recognize this because I have very much the signature. I have Mars on the ascendant, except my ascendant is Virgo. But I also have a stellium in Sagittarius. So I get it. I get it. Very intuitive. And you can dream about future things. Yeah, I bet you can. I bet you can. With that moon in Libra, you're going to be very fair. You're going to have a sense of the big picture because Libras are kind of a we sign, and they love the finest things in life. They like to take it all in, and then you know uh, there's a best choice, and they'll struggle to find what it is. Libras definitely they want to do the right thing, but they don't always know what it is. Libras can sometimes do analysis paralysis. They take so much in that they then don't know what to do with it. Um, so yeah, that's just a couple things. I don't, you can always learn more. Hollis, I'm sure you have things that you could share.
Well, when I look at it right away, the first thing that comes to mind is that this Mercury retrograde is hitting her Saturn. I'm sorry, I assume that your pronouns are her, she, her. But the Mercury retrograde is actually going back and forth on top of Nora's Saturn retrograde in Pisces. So, and they just finished their Saturn returns. So I'm betting that actually they're getting a lot of blessings this way, and it's probably as a result of some things that happened for the Saturn returns. Since the Saturn returns is finishing now, it's probably like, gosh, I've been really working hard. And now with this lunar eclipse, it's really like the end of something right now for you. Nor I feel like you're probably finally getting some things through, finally maybe making movement. And if you haven't yet, you will in the next week or so. Um, in the next week or so, you're gonna be feeling it. It's gonna be things are gonna start getting better, whatever's going on. Um, okay. Um, Yeah, the retrograde is hitting you hard, but I don't think it might feel like it's hitting hard, but if you listen to our forecast, what I said was anything that happens later, you're going to kind of be like, "Oh, I'm so glad that happened. I'm so glad cuz if that didn't happen, this would have never happened." And you're in your Saturn retrograde, you're in your Saturn returns. Um, Nora, so you just finished your Saturn returns. So of course you've ended relationships. How about jobs? Is that changing too? What else in your life has changed? Probably had a complete somebody probably feels like Saturn came in and kicked you around the course a little bit here. Um, and it said you said that you ended a toxic relationship about 2 months ago, a 4 year cycle, and that's just ending now. Yeah, this is the end of the book. This is like the final chapter we're in now. Okay. And she says, they said, yeah, exactly. I've also launched my own film production house 2 days ago. Oh, yeah. See, I've completed my master's in February. Yeah. See, you're getting all the blessings, and you have major blessings coming to you before April 11th. So I just want to let you know there is lots of beautiful things that are going to happen. The Mercury retrograde is going right over top of your Saturn, and it will also be coming into a trine. Sorry, it will be Mercury retrograde will be going over your Saturn. It's already done the hard part. Now's the easy part. And Jupiter is going to come into a trine. Jupiter is a blessing planet. This is good luck. This is extra great blessings with a positive bring in. This means it's a positive thing coming into you. Um, so these are like great blessings. So that's the immediate thing that comes in. Plus, you can also see um, that Nor had the North Node on Saturn with the Sun on Saturn plus Mercury on Saturn. You can see all those are there. And Mercury um, at I will be at 15 degrees, I think it is, when it comes into a trine with Jupiter, which is over here in the seventh house of relationships. So, but that doesn't have to be love relationships. It could just be other kinds of relationships, such as maybe something to do with your work or something to do with your masters, or you could something you'll probably be grateful that you ended the relationship that you did though, because you'll be like, oh, I'm so glad I did that because I hadn't done that, this wouldn't have happened. Um, and so it's going to be one of those types of things. Okay. So you got blessings coming your way in the next few weeks in this Mercury retrograde. And um, it's really the end of a bad chapter. It really is. They said that, oh God, I'm so glad it's the end of a bad chapter and it's final. It was an on and off abusive relationship that walked away 2 months ago. Congratulations. And that's all your Saturn returns. So I encourage you to go take a look. Go look online. There are great books out there about your Saturn return. Everybody goes through it around ages of 27 and 30. And this is a great time to usually your life gets turned just like someone came in and pushed this over there and pushed that over there and flipped this around and turned this on. And so it's just a beautiful time in your life. It's a very special astrological transit for sure. It's very intense. It is one of the more intense ones that most of that pretty much everyone has to go through. You could ask just about anyone what happened to you between um, yes. Uh, well, your destiny changed anyway, Nor, because the North Node was on your Saturn. The North Node is your destiny, and it's been transiting yours during the Saturn returns for the last year and a half, 2 years. Yep, for the last 2 years, it came in there, probably kicked you around, probably said, "Hey, what are you doing about this relationship? What else are you doing? What are you doing about this?" That kind of thing. And then it said, "Okay, get moving, start getting this stuff worked out, and we're not putting up with this anymore," and that kind of thing. That's what's going to happen with the North Node and Saturn on your Saturn like that. So it's definitely a beautiful yet intense experience and special. All right. So if you ever want to learn more, I can always look at your chart at any time. I do readings all the time. And we do this every single Monday. And we're happy to look at the current transit for you.
I would say a lot of people get, and I would say myself, get interested in astrology during their Saturn return. While Saturn return is generally has some very uncomfortable moments to it, it also helps reveal to you your life path. So stick to it. Keep asking yourself, who is the person I want to be in the world? Am I living up to what I want to be and how I want to show up in the world? And be willing to be flexible about values changing, relationships changing, all of that kind of thing. So um, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Um, Melissa, what name do I have you under? I looked under Melissa Taylor. I looked under Melissa Sanders on both of my computers. And I can't seem to find you. So, um, and Nora said, such a detailed reading. Oh, yeah, sure. And that was just a little insight. That's what we call a mini reading. You can imagine what would happen um, in a more detailed reading, right? Yeah, I do readings pretty pretty often. Bright Hawk does birth chart readings, so that's another. Um, Bright Hawk can always help you understand yourself a little bit more. I think that that's like the most powerful thing about astrology is that it, it really helps you understand who you are. And like Bright Hawk always says, and stop trying to rub out those freckles so that you can. I did find Melissa Kernan. And so that you can stop trying to, when you give your give yourself a hard time about something that's not necessary. Sammy, if you'd like a reading, we need your birthday, time, and place. Birthday, year, time, and place. So we can put a chart in. Otherwise, you can give us your chart if you have it. So Melissa, I forget what you said. I think did you have a question? Um, I do have your chart now. I found it. Uh, Feeling so much better. Just feeling so much better. Heavy energy in my partner relationship. Oh, Jupiter is retrograde there. It's going to go forward soon. You might. Mm, I don't know about that. I mean, mm, so there's some things that are coming up for you, Melissa. First of all, you have the South Node in Aries. And like I said a little bit earlier, Neptune and Saturn have moved in there just a couple of weeks ago. They've been kind of going, they went in there last summer and then they left. So you may have had a little break, but now it's gone back in. And so that's going to be about some things that you need to let go of, some things that are going to sort of change. And considering that your fifth house is ruled by Taurus and Gemini. It's mostly Taurus, and Uranus is about to move over to Gemini. Plus, Jupiter is about to go direct in your seventh house. It's making me think about communication and your relationship. So I don't know what's been going on with your relationship. Um, so is that your partner, like your love partner? I'm assuming, Melissa. Um, so, I mean, the thing is that you have some major changes coming to you. And Melissa, it could be worth doing a reading as I'm looking at this because you're about to experience some pretty intense energy because of Saturn on your south node along with Neptune, and then also Uranus moving into Gemini. All that's about to happen this year. Now, Jupiter's about to go direct in your seventh house. So I don't know. Um, it could be intense, yeah, but at the same time, there could also be some surprises about it. Maybe there's some parts of it that you're not seeing. Is there something about communication with this guy, Melissa? I wish I could see both of your charts together, so I could be more sure of which way it's going. That's called synastry. I do synastry readings, which is where I put his birthday with your birthday, and I just take a look and try to help you understand what dynamic is going on and how to greatly improve it. Your South Node is in Aries, and Saturn and Neptune are there. They're trying to get you to learn how to communicate better. Okay. So if you're wanting to hold on to that relationship or keep that relationship, I would suggest that you make maybe some changes to communication. Maybe he also needs to make changes to communication. There could also be some surprises coming up, particularly this spring. Um, and the surprises, I mean, is this like, would you say that your relationship is on the edge and you're just barely keeping it together? Or are you not sure where it's going? Or or is it more like we just have a few hiccups? So that's kind of my question, because without seeing his chart, I can't tell. If I can see his chart, I can tell better. But those are kind of my questions, because if it's um okay, it's on the edge. Um, uh, Melissa, it might come to an end at some point. Probably not till spring. Um, but you could have some temporary blessings for now. Um, but it looks like it's supposed to. I think you're supposed to let some things go. Maybe this relationship is, have you been holding on to it? Your fifth house, your house of relationships and like love relationships, romantic relationships in particular, is ruled by Taurus, which usually means that you resist ending things. You resist change in general in relationships. And so I just want to speak to that for a minute, because when we resist whatever life is pushing at us, it doesn't usually go well. You're better off to accept whatever love is happening. And I mean, sure, you should try to keep a relationship. And like I said, it's definitely a communication issue. And there could be, it could be on both of your ends. I have no idea what his chart is like, but we could go deep in a reading. I'm just letting you know that there are big changes coming your way, and that could include the change of that relationship or the change of the status of that relationship. Okay? So, it might hurt you, might break your heart, but in the end, I think it might be better, actually. Okay? I want to be sensitive to you. I want to be sensitive to how you might be feeling about that, but it sounds like you kind of already know. Like you're like, yeah, I'm not sure about the future of this. It sounds like the universe has already kind of given you a little bit of like a hello, this isn't working out so great. Okay? It's not just about you, it's probably about both of you, though. I can almost guarantee that. um, okay, so Nor did ask another question. They said, I wanted to ask one question in general about astrology. Is it possible to gauge someone's karma through your own chart? Somebody who has wronged you. No, you would need their, at least their birthday. You wouldn't need their time. Be great if you knew where or about where. Even if you're like, I don't know, they were born in the South, something like that. We might be able to take a look at some things. Um, Mars and Scorpio question, it sure is. It's unless it's like your father or your sibling or your child, probably not. Um, what I those kinds of things I can like look at your chart and be like, your father was like this or that. Um, but it still be hard to tell what their karmic tie to you is without looking at their chart. And if I look at their chart, then I can do the synastry and tell you about their karmic connection to you. And all you really need is their birthday and their place. And then that is really helpful. Okay. Um, okay. That's all you really need is his birthday. If you know his year or you can figure out his year, maybe you can somehow look at his Facebook and see what his hometown is. That's another way that people do it. I'll look at it. And we should do that in a reading, Nor. Okay. So, because that's someone else's information. Some people don't think you should look at people's astrology charts without their permission. I don't see it as an issue. I see it as you're seeking to understand someone or seeking to understand your relationship with someone, and I don't see it as an issue. I don't see it as a problem. But I wouldn't broadcast it online. Okay. So, um, oh, thanks for putting that up right Hawk. That's very helpful. Someone did put up their birthday. Sammy. Hey, Sammy, what what city and state were you born? All right. Yeah, so there's so many things that you can tell in astrology. Um so many things that you can, you know, learn about yourself in astrology in the Caribbean. Can you just tell us what country, Sammy? Jamaica? I mean, I don't know. Um, is that in the Caribbean? Costa Rica? I don't know. They just said Caribbean. It's kind of a big area. um, St. Vincent. Okay, I don't know where that is, but all right. So that might be a little bit hard, Brayhawk. Sometimes the software acts a little funny with certain towns and areas. Um, so Um, yeah, so there's a lot that you can tell in a chart. You can do so many things. You can find out your relationship with others. You can find out your you can find out your your karmic past. You can look at your future. You can even look at someone that has died. Why did they die at that time? I do. I'm the only person in the world that does it. It's called a cosmic grief reading, where I look at the astrology of someone that has died and I look at their relationship with you, and what that meant and why did they die at that time and la 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 things like that. Um, so there's a lot of great questions you can answer, and in synastry, there's a lot of information. So many things, so many different places, so many different things you can look at. Um, Yeah, I see that. I found it. St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It's actually a country, St. Vincent and the Grenadines or whatever. I don't know if there's a city there, but I found it, and now I just have to find the longitude and latitude for you. Um, it is a country in itself.
Sammy, it would really help if you gave us your time. It's not going to be as accurate without a birth time, and I don't see that in any of your notes. So I'm working from June 17th, 1981, and I still don't, I'm not able to get the location dialed in. If you can get the chart, then you should do it, Hollis.
Okay. I'm working on it. Yeah, it's hard when you get countries like this because um it doesn't it doesn't pick it up very well, so then you just have to uh longitude, latitude, and I just look up the longitude and latitude of it and put it in manually. North. All right. Uh yep. Okay. All right. So we don't know Sammy's time, right? Okay. So, Sammy, what I can tell you is that you're a Gemini, which I'm laughing because I'm like, well, we could improve on the communication, but is Mercury is it is yeah, but with Sammy, we have to have like some sort of city or something to put in the software. So I looked up the longitude and latitude of your country, and I put it in. And I do have a chart for you. So I see that you're a Gemini. You're also Mars in Gemini, and I can see that right now. Um, there's a Mercury retrograde going on in Pisces. There's not actually a whole lot. Well, I guess you actually have Neptune and Saturn are opposite your Saturn in Libra. So I bet you're having some things about relationships, Sammy. There's probably um there's probably something about relationships happening right now. It might feel kind of like a push and pull, like maybe you want to go in this direction, but somebody somehow is holding you back. There's some sort of relationship or connection with others that might be holding you back. It could be some sort of it could be any kind of relationship, really, anything. It doesn't have to be love or romance. It could be that, but it could also be friends or family, children, any of those kinds of relationships. And essentially, there's a push and pull. There's a push between, what I want for myself as an independent, and you're probably flip flopping back and forth between the two right now. I would imagine that's what's going on. Hi, Kiki, welcome. Fred Hawk, did you get this user? This user that's asking for a reading, it looks like May 26, 1983. Um, can you tell us where? Can you tell us what country? Are you from the UK, or you tell us? Sammy said I'm trying to run. Yeah, you probably feel a little bit like both. Like part of you would like to stay, but then there's a part of you that would like to run. Um, you probably feel a little independent. There's something that's keeping you behind. I will say that trying to find a balance would be better for you. Um, Leaning too much in one direction usually throws things off balance. And then when things are off balance, things go wrong. So, what I would suggest is that instead you try to find some sort of balance. How can you find a balance in this relationship? Um, Especially since you have a T square. They have a T square putting at Jupiter, which is directly opposite in Libra. Jupiter and Saturn, which is both in Libra, which of course is relationships, and it's directly opposite the Saturn Neptune transit. So it's kind of like in an opposition, pulling on that T square. This is going to be a big deal for you, Sammy. It's not really going to give for the next year or so. Okay, so it's going to be intense. It's going to be as far as money goes. Um, Yeah, you'll probably be able to make or bring in money, probably in about a week and a half, maybe 7 to 10 days, Sammy. Once Jupiter goes direct in Cancer. You have Venus in Cancer, so you'll be able to expand in that area, in the next week to 10 days. Okay? Good luck with that, Sammy. Hey, Kiki. Good to have you. So, um, you can see here that if you'd like, we need your birth time, date, location, And Bright Hawk likes to have your current location as well. That can be helpful, especially if we're looking at the current transits. But I will say that we're just about done anyway. Huh? Um, it's a pleasure to come and ask your to answer your questions, to take a look at your astrology and just help people get interested in astrology. You know, it's a beautiful, amazing um, art, where people were looking at your chart for you, and the more personalized the chart is, the more accurate it is. The more your date and time is accurate, the more accurate the reading is. And the more information we have, the more accurate we can read for you. And that's really, and to be completely honest, astrology is powerful in that way, because because it's gotten me through so many things, including the politics. Like right now, most astrologers are pretty sure this craziness with Iran will settle down here very soon, and it will end. I don't think it's going to continue. So I'm just going to say, like, for instance, that if you needed some reassurance in that way, there's a little reassurance for you. Um, it could also really ruin uh, Trump. This could be sort of the beginning of the end for him. Thanks, Sammy. Appreciate that. And I'm glad that you were here, Chelsea. It's good to have you. And I'm glad that you guys enjoy these readings. You enjoy Monday nights. Remember to like, to share, to tell your friends. Hey, on Monday nights, if you want to learn a little bit about astrology, Hollis and Brighthawk do this great live. You can check it out. And pretty much every Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, here we are. Looking at your chart, you can just come put your birthday in the chart. I'm going to double check on Hollis's page, that no one that no one has asked any questions, because Bright Hawk, a couple times I've missed, because for whatever reason they don't come in on StreamYard. I don't know why. Okay. Nope. Okay. Just wanted to make sure. So, yeah, so please take time to share. Please take time to look around. Please take time to watch our, um, please subscribe. Thank you. And also be sure to check out this week's forecast. This week's forecast is on YouTube. And if you check out our reels, you'll also be able to find your personal horoscope every week. So every week we post a weekly forecast. There's a link in the comments. You guys can check it out, and please subscribe to our page. And we're live every Monday night. And we also post on Sundays, and we post on Mondays and Tuesdays. We post the reels, the horoscope for the week. So, and I'm also on Substack. If you'd rather read it, or you're like, I can't always listen to an hour video, Hollis, well, that's okay. No problem. You can read the Substack. Is a great sort of mini version, a summation of what I said, along with the weekly horoscope. Okay. All right, everyone. We've enjoyed this evening with you. Bright Hawk, do you want to say goodbye?
Thanks so much for listening to Rainbow Soul Astrology, where we like to be a bridge between you and the stars. Have a great week, everybody, and blessings on this lunar eclipse.